And without further ado, I'll introduce our first reader, who was to have been Rose Després, who couldn't be with us, I don't think. Is that right, Joanne?
She hasn't appeared yet, no.
Yeah, okay. So Rose was going to read her poem, Cette, exécrée, manie de gloire, which is then going to be read in translation by Kathy Mack and then Carlos Morales. Jennifer Houle has graciously agreed to stand up and read in Jennifer's place, or in Rose's place. So perhaps I'll introduce Jennifer, who is the author of 2 award-winning collections of poetry, The Back Channels and Virga, both from Signature Editions. Her first children's book, Un logis pour Molly, A Home for Molly, was published by Édition Bouton d'Or Acadie in the summer of 2022 in both French and English, and she lives in New Brunswick. Welcome, Jennifer. Better, because the mic picks up the sound better there.
So kind of like,
Apparently that's good.
well, I'm excited to read this for Rose. I'm kind of honored. She was actually one of the first people, the first time I ever read something bilingual was in Moncton at an event at the Attic Owl Reading Series, and she was there that night. And she came up to me afterwards and she was like, you really need to write more in French. You need to try that. Come on. She really encouraged me that night. And really, ever since, I haven't forgotten that. And now I'm doing it a little bit more. So here we are. So, for Rose Després. And I'm going to try to do it justice. Cette, exécrée, manie de gloire. Ce n'est pas vous, nécessairement, plutôt l'injustice de l'ignorance crasse. Vous les connaissez, n'est-ce pas? Les fainéantes et pitoyables désinvoltures de la race humaine, les pas médiocres d'une danse diabolique gauche, la pratique sacrilégiante de son exercice machinal, promiscuité empruntée dans le temps, sans imagination ou luminescence possible, ni convalescence, ni guérison en vue. Plutôt, un pillage pathétique, la souillure planétaire, l'ennui si disgracieusement évaché sur tous les écrans, l'amour quotidien endolori, surexposé par la spectrale et sournoise assignation d'une mue pelliculée. Pelliculée aux anecdotes anémiques des zombies languissants, lobotomisés, qui régurgitent de grincheux commérages. Mais une aube insomniaque et incendiaire les déracinera. Une nouvelle conflagration balayera les discus de tous ces myopes, mannequins, paralytiques. Merci.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. That was awesome. You really went for it on that one. All right. So then next up is Kathy Mack with her translation of Rose's poem. Kathy recently retired from the creative writing program at St. Thomas University here in Fredericton. She received a Community Impact Award for co-running the Odd Sundays reading series from 2016 to 2022. So thank you for that, Kathy. We appreciate it. Her books include 3 of poetry, 1 of essays, and 2 of writing instruction, and they've been nominated for or have won various regional and national awards. Welcome, Kathy. Thank you.
And thank you, Joanne, for including my poetry in this edition. Hi, everybody. More people came in. Yeah, I'm just learning French, and last winter I was thinking I should do some translation. And I think the next day I got an email from Joanne about the Ancrages Fiddlehead collaboration. And I thought, well, I'll go do that. And I went on Ancrages, chose a few poems, and this is what resulted. I found I wasn't expecting it. Translation is a little bit like skiing down a really steep slope that's maybe just a bit beyond your means. And it's got this slalomy feeling to it. You feel like you're just barely in control. You're not quite out of control, but you're just barely in control. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. So, that perverse passion for fame. I'm not talking about you, not really, unless you're blind to the crimes of crass ignorance. But you know who I'm talking about, right? They model all that's offhand and pitiful about so-called human kind. Mediocre marchers, beats behind in their own danse macabre. Mechanical step counters, profane hand jobbers, practice promiscuitous who ape a fake past without vision, without brilliance, no convalescence, no cure in sight. Just pathetic plundering by planetary desecrators, mindless myopes who slump, graceless on all the screens, where the daily dose of boredom, viral, animates anemic anecdotes. The soft core, prime time, dead cell fluffing narration of languishing, lobotomized zombies who vomit cantankerous gossip. Just wait. An unsleeping, incendiary dawn bomb is coming to blow their shallow roots sky high, and a new dance with fire, not rot, will sweep away all that's left of these myopic, paralytic mannequins. Thank you.
Loving this energy. We'll keep it going with Carlos Morales, who's also going to read a translation of the same poem into Spanish. Carlos is a poet and writer from El Salvador. He lives in Fredericton, New Brunswick now, and has been doing that since 1991. He's been participating in literary activities and promoting Latin American culture in his new home. In 2012, he published his first book of poetry, Antología Chiquita, small anthology. Welcome, Carlos.
Okay, I hope everybody could listen to me since my voice sometimes is kind of soft. You good? Okay.
Carlos, could we ask you to speak up and into this microphone?
Sure.
It's hard for the interpreters, the ASL interpreters, to hear you and interpret for you.
It is good? We're good?
Yep, it looks like you're good.
Okay. Yeah, this is a kind of strange experience since I am used to translate my poetry, okay, or look for somebody else who does the same job. But I wasn't expecting to do the same for a fellow poet. And French is something like similar to Spanish. And I find this poem very colloquial, kind of solemn, although it's a lot of sarcasm here, but I love it anyway. It was really a wonderful experience to participate in the translation workshop hosted by Joanne, okay, and to meet other fellow poets like the Ancrages and the Okay. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to read this in Spanish. Okay, here we go. Esta odiosa manía de gloria. No, no son ustedes, necesariamente. Más bien, la injusticia de la crasa ignorancia. ¿Las conocen? ¿Verdad? Las desenvolturas perezosas y lamentables de la supuesta raza humana. Los pasos mediocres de una danza diabólica, torpe, la práctica sacrílega de su ejercicio mecánico, una promiscuidad arrebatada del pasado, sin imaginación o luminiscencia posible, ni convalescencia, ni cura a la vista, más bien un patético pillaje. La inmundicia planetaria, el hastío tirado tan desgraciadamente a todas las pantallas, la apática y adolorida cotidianeidad sobreexpuesta por la espectral y solapada asignación de una muda descascarada de las anémicas anécdotas de abatidos zombies lobotomizados que regurgitan chismes, cascarrabias. Pero un alba incendiaria de insomnio los desarraigará. Un nuevo incendio barrerá los desechos de todos estos maniquíes, miopes, paralíticos. Muchas gracias.
It's very exciting to have all these languages in the room. I'm thinking 4 if we count ASL.
Sí.